ஆன்ல இருக்கு. ராம 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 ராம். जानकीकांत स्मरणम. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की. सीताराम. In the last session, we started with Walmiki Ramayana. The first sloka, our Guruji, Dr. Ranganji, had initiated with that sloka, and we continue from where he left. Tapaswadhyaya niratam tapasvi vagvidam varam naradam paripapracha Walmikir munipunghavam. This sloka is the first sloka of Srimad Walmiki Ramayana. Every great epic, every great kavya, they start with very auspicious words. Every kavya, the epic, they try to contribute something to the society. Epic has various lakshanas. We have heard from our Guruji, different epics come with different purposes. Mahabharata, again a Dharma Shastra, proclaims itself as an encyclopedia. What is not present in Mahabharata is not present anywhere else. Whatever is present in the world in terms of values that is available in Mahabharata, that's what Mahabharata says. So Mahabharata is like an encyclopedia. That is how Mahabharata proclaims. An epic should have values. There should be heroism. There should be a lot of literary similes, metaphors, usage of different forms of the words. So all those things are kavya lakshana which can be found in both of these kavyas. Ramayana, as we all know, is a very profound and long epic. Every epic, it starts with auspicious words, and the beginning of the epic, in a nutshell, conveys what is the purpose of that epic. In this particular case, and it is very, very apt, last week our Guruji started this first sloka for us, and this first sloka of Walmiki Ramayana talks about the Guru Sishya Lakshana. The sloka starts, or Walmiki Ramayana starts with a very auspicious word called tapas. So what is the meaning of tapas? What is the meaning of tapas? Can anyone say? Kalyan, what is tapas? What comes to your mind when you hear the word tapas? Tapas means meditation. What else? What is tapas? What, Nikhil? What comes to your mind when you hear the word tapas? क्या सोच में आएगा? तपस, वो शब्द सुन के Valmiki Rishi. Rishi. Walmiki. This sloka, in some sense, talks about the Guru Shishya Lakshana. And generally, we see in very great works, the first set of slokas or the first set of pages are dedicated for acknowledgements. Guru Parampara, we always, with gratitude, we salute the people who have inspired us for contributing to that work. We acknowledge the people who contributed to that work. It could be gurus, it could be donors, it could be people who helped with even preparing the text. If you all had seen our 10-volume book, in the beginning of this book, the first chapter, have you all seen what is there? It says acknowledgement. Okay, our Guru also has started with acknowledgement. He acknowledges Rama first, Sita, Hanuman, the inspiring deities who have made him instrumental to write this great translation, not just translation. There is this comparison of all the patas, then chronology, then various regional versions of Ramayana. All these has been covered in great detail in the 10-volume. It's a very humongous work. So there are a lot of contributing factors. Our health should be very good for doing such a great work. The people around us should be supportive. So any work which is very significant, you see, those people will acknowledge their Guru Parampara, their Ishta Devata, their family, their parents, their spouse, their children, etc. This is a very common practice. We will see in one of the gunas, in fact, what Walmiki is going to ask, dharmajnascha, after that is what? Kritajnascha. Kritajnaha. So everybody born in this world, and this we can see in the beautiful small book written by our Guruji, Ranganji, called What is Dharma? Whenever we are born, from that day, our rinas start. Okay, rinas means debt. Okay, we are indebted, kadan. Okay, from the day we are born, we take a lot of things. Okay, we take from nature, we take from our mother, we take from our father, we take from our guru, we take from our friends, we take from Walmiki Ashrama, we take from Murliji, we take from Raghottamaji. So everybody is contributing on a daily basis. So in What is Dharma, our Anna says, from the day we are born, we become indebted. There is so much we take, we need to give back from the society which helps us nurture, the society which helps us grow in our scriptures, in our Nitya Anusandhana, in our Swadhyaya, in our tapas. To all those people, we need to give back. That's where we see the Pancha Mahayajnas. Okay, there is Bhuta Yajna, there is Manushya Yajna, there is Brahma Yajna, there is Deva Yajna, there is Pitri Yajna. All these, in some way or the other, contribute to us. Some people give us knowledge, some people give us birth, some people help us exist. There are wars happening in some other parts of the world. Here we are all very peaceful. Okay, there are missiles going on in one part of the world, and here we are all very peaceful. What it means is everybody here is allowing the other person to be existing peacefully. Okay, that is Manushya Yajna. So we are also indebted to all the other people who live and let live. Okay, that is our principle. Rama's principle is to live and let live. Ramateti Ramaha, Ramayateti Ramaha. To enjoy and to make others enjoy. That becomes essential in Manushya Yajna. Then we see Bhuta Yajna. Okay, daily, at least some of us, we see elephants on the way from the office daily. The elephants don't come here and harm us. The elephants are there in the forest, we are there here in the ashrama. Okay, we are indebted to all the elephants also. We are indebted to all the animals, all the bhutas who are there all around us. And for all the devas, this time we had very samruddhi of rain in the month of May. Generally, month of May is like a hot cauldron. We all get burnt and roasted. Okay, tapas swadhyaya. Tapaha means to also get roasted, to get cooked. Okay, tapaha also is to cook. Okay, we are all raw when we come into the world. Over a period of time, all our practices, all our rituals, they make us much more cultured. That cooking process itself is called tapaha. Okay, tapaha is heat. With that heat, so sometimes during this hot summer, it becomes very, very hot. But this time, I think we all had a very good summer, including our Ram Navami Utsava. We were blessed with rainfall. And it was beautiful rainfall. Whenever there was all these Purapadu which was planned, whenever Purapadu was happening, rain didn't happen. Rain gods was giving us break. So the Devatas, they signify cosmic order. Ritam, Satyam, they are all facets of all these Devatas. They perform their duty every day morning. Whether we keep alarm or not, whether we wake up or not, the sun comes out. Okay, who is giving alarm to the sun? Who is keeping clock alarm for the moon? Okay, very beautiful. If you go into the forest during Paurnami day, it will be beautiful and full light. Even street lights can't compare to that. The forest will look much more glorious. Okay, who is keeping alarm clock for the moon to come? We all know, no, the famous Ramayana sloka, where Chancha Chanda Karasparsha Ashwan Milita Tharaka. The beautiful rays of the moon is coming and touching the star. The stars are as if blinking. They are all shy. Okay, very beautifully Walmiki Kavi has created that particular verse where it talks about how the natural order is happening. So Devas, we are all indebted to the Devas. Devas give us inner strength as well as outside the natural forces. The natural forces of rain or sunlight or moonlight or earth. Whatever is coming out of the earth is what we eat. The air, the light, the akasha. We are all sitting here thankfully because there is akasha. There is akasha between us. Otherwise, each one has to sit on top of us. For that also, you need that akasha. So, every devata is contributing. So, in this, what is dharma? Our Guruji talks about Pancha Mahayajnas and how each one of us have to discharge these debts. From the time we are born, what is the expectation? None of these people are giving any expectation. But as responsible students, as responsible citizens, as responsible people, Manushyas, we need to make sure we are with gratitude. First, we need to feel that all of them is helping me be on an everyday basis to live. Therefore, we need to make sure that we are letting others live. We are sharing the happiness. Ramayate iti Ramaha. So it is not enough that we take from everybody and we enjoy. Then that is selfishness. We need to make sure that we take whatever is sufficient for us. Beyond that, we need to also share. We need to care. We need to give. We need to forgive. All these things are very, very important. This is what is covered in the Pancha Mahayajna. That Kritajnata is very, very important. That Kritajnata over a period of time, this tapas leads us to that. And this first sloka, where we see this Guru Sishya Parampara, generally great works, they start with this acknowledgement. So all this is for that Kritajnata. The aspect of Kritajnata is very, very important in this world. Nandri Marappadu Nandrandru, Nandraladu Andre Marappadu Nandru. It's a famous Tirukural. Whatever is with gratitude, we need to always, we should never forget. And whatever is not good deeds done to us, we should immediately forget those things. Katanchitu upakarena kritena ikena tushyati na smarati apakaranam shatamapi atmavattaya. Okay, we see a lot of reflection in Thiruvalluvar, in Thirukural from Ramayana. We see in different aspects. So therefore, we need to be with gratitude. And here, the first sloka, the way the story starts, Guru Sishya Parampara is described in detail by Walmiki, and Walmiki is also giving his salutations to his guru, who is Narada. So what does this sloka tell us? Tapaswadhyayanatam tapasvi vagvidam varam. Naradam Paripapracha Valmiki Munipungavam. The great Narada Rishi, Narada is the guru here. Who is the sishya? Walmiki is the sishya. The first verse talks about 4 different characteristics, 4 different gunas of a guru. Okay, what are those 4 different gunas? Tapas, swadhyaya, vagvidamvara, and munipungatva. Okay, these are the 4 characteristics of a guru. And our Guruji says, if any one of this is extraordinary in a person, that person becomes qualified as a guru. If all the 4 is available in a person, then that person is an extraordinary guru. Okay, now we will see what are these words. Swadhyaya means what? All of you are doing Swadhyaya daily. Okay, Swadhyaya means scriptural knowledge. Okay, something we study. Okay, the Veda Patanam we do, or the Ramayana Patanam we do, or the subjects we study. Swadhyaya cannot be done at a superficial level. Okay, Swadhyaya has to be done at a deep level. That is important. Sarva Shastrartha Tatvajnaha. This is Rama's guna. Sarva Shastra is to just read. Okay, in Swadhyaya also there are different levels. They say Nunipul Mayarad. Okay, we can be jack of all trades but master of none. Okay, every day, here 2 lines, in that book 2 lines, in that book 2 lines, like that we can read. But without knowing the essence of it, there are a lot of people who can do this. And you ask them 1 or 2 tough questions, then they will say, okay, that's all I know. I don't know anything beyond that. But whereas from Rama we understand Sarva Shastra Artha Tatvajnaha. So it is not enough if we know the Shastras, we need to know the Arthas. And we are blessed in this Walmiki Ashrama where a lot of you understand Vedic mantras. Okay, our Guruji ensures that you understand the meanings. Then after the meanings is Dhvani. Okay, it is not enough if you know only the etymological meaning of it. You also understand the layers of meanings. The Dhvani Deepika is a humongous work which our Guruji has blessed us with. Tattva. So, Sarva Shastra Artha Tatvajnaha. So, when we do Swadhyaya, it is important for us not just to read superficially. It is important for us to understand the Artha and the Tattva behind it. Like they say, Sa Bharavahi Karaha. If you don't understand what is the meaning, okay, especially of Vedic mantras and the rituals we do, then it becomes like a donkey which is going with a load of sandalwood. Okay, sandalwood is chandan. Okay, like in Tamil also there is a vachana which is very similar. Kavideki terima karpura vasanai. Okay, maybe donkeys don't know, have sense of smell, I don't know. But these are the vachanas, so maybe they don't know. Whereas for dogs and horses, the sense of smell is very, very high. That's why they are used. No, they are used for training. Police use both the dogs and horses. Okay, they don't use donkeys. I think donkeys can't smell enough. So this is like a big donkey which is going with a load of sandalwood. It doesn't even know what I am taking. Even you send the donkey along with a load of gold and diamonds, etc., it will not even care. It is like that. You have a lot of knowledge, but if you don't know what is the meaning and purpose of that knowledge, it is like carrying a burden. It is not of any use to anybody. So Swadhyaya has to be deep. It has to be very systematic. And when we are here, we need to be in the present and we need to go to the depths of whatever we learn. That's an important aspect. So that is the first quality of a guru. The next one is tapas. Already we saw tapas means meditation, etc. Tapas has 2 dimensions. Okay, one is anushtana, one is anubhava. Anushtana is practice. So therefore, Swadhyaya is theory, tapas is practice. Okay, they say no theory and practicals. In data entry, home science, everything we see, there is theory, there is practicals. So theory is just to read, but we need to put that into practice. So therefore, whatever we learn, we need to put it into practice. That practice is anushtana. And that anushtana has to be over a long period of time. It can't be, okay, you learn pranayama. We can discuss here different types of pranayama. We know Brahmari, we know Shatanta, we know Shitali pranayama. All those things are good to say. What does it mean? Without doing, how will we even know? Okay, people will then quickly say, no, you keep your hand on your nose and then blow, that's all. Is that pranayama? Like today, the fancy nature of yoga, is that right? Yoga means asana. Okay, what about then the 8 steps of yoga? What happens to those? So we need to understand yoga is the integration of all those steps. Every step will lead to the next step, and it is elevation of our inner self. So therefore, this practice is very important. Just by talking, we will not experience anything. Therefore, Anushtana is important. And like we see in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Dirghakala, Nairantarya, Satkara, Sevitaha, Dridabhumihi, over a long period of time, the Anushtana has to happen. That's why for all of you, I think the Upanayana has been done at very young age, 7 years, 8 years. You continue to do your Gayatri, Pranayama, the mantra recitation over a long period of time, then even if you are woken up from sleep, you can recite, you know, and you will know the meaning. Like our Guruji says, Ramayana, we keep doing Parayana, the meaning will start revealing to ourselves. If we do deep meditation of the Sandhya Vandana mantra, the mantras will start. Mantras were revealed, correct, to all the seers also. That's why the rishis are translated as seers. Rishi Darshane. So they were found, they were seen. The practice is important. The more we are practicing, the more we are in silence, we will be able to understand. Last week I was in a conference, there were physiotherapists who were there. They were saying body is the best example of a very complex system, but very, very beautifully organized. We always see, how Brahmadeva. Only for very beautiful people, sometimes you say, how Brahmadeva created this person. For every person, how Brahmadeva created is a wonder. Okay, our body is full of complexities. The number of nerves, the number of bones. I think all the kids learn how many bones are there in the body, but nobody will know the counts of nerves. Okay, it runs into millions. But how each nerves are interconnected, it is like how World Wide Web, we are talking about internet. There are millions and billions of computers now, billions of data packets which are going. How everything is seamlessly being organized, that is with human intelligence. We are talking here about divine intelligence, how the system of body has been made. It is a great wonder. They were talking about a field called biomechanics. How our leg is, for example. How the leg is organized in terms of the muscles are there, tissues are there are ligaments, there are bones, there is blood vessels, there is nerves. How each one is a system. That's why now we have isolated each system and we study. There is muscular system, there is skeletal system, there is circulatory system, respiratory system, nervous system. All these are inside the body only. Okay, it's not different places we are able to see. So such a complex system, very beautifully it has come. This and more, our rishis were able to find out. Okay, we trace the history of Ayurveda years ago. We are able to talk about inner forces millions of years ago, right? Our rishis were able to find out it is all because of deep meditation. Therefore, this tapas. So that is what becomes anubhava, anubhuti. The more the anushtana, the more the anubhava. There are people, there are gurus who don't have a strong scriptural knowledge but are very good in anushtana and anubhava. They are able to have a lot of siddhi within them, insights come to them naturally. There are people who are only with swadhyaya and not with enough tapas. They are also great gurus. But they will be more like scholars, pandita. They will be pandits. They might not be practitioners. Okay, it is important to have both. That's why here Walmiki says in Guru Lakshana, tapas and swadhyaya, both are very important. We see in the history of a lot of great gurus, Ramana Maharishi, for example, had a lot of experience, but he also studied after that. Okay, we see the great story of Ramanujacharya, where after a lot of tapas, after a lot of yoga, anusandhana, he continued to study. We have heard from Rangaji on how he went to Tirumala to study Ramayana, because he knew there is something which I still don't know. It is important for me to understand. So the thirst for these two things cannot end. And the best example for us is our Guruji. Okay, till today, the curiosity, today morning we were in the Vedic workshop. When somebody is telling something new, he immediately takes the notes and he takes notes. Okay, so it is a good practice for all of you. From the next class, maybe you should get and start writing notes when our Guruji is giving lectures. Okay, because insights come left, right, and center. Okay, we are going to see how insights sprout from seers and people of great pratibha. Sometimes we don't capture. Okay, there is so much coming on an everyday basis. So like that, but the curiosity to learn how he is continuously updating his knowledge is phenomenal. Okay, that's a great example for tapas and swadhyaya. Okay, tapas, anushtana, anubhava and swadhyaya. There is no end to it. These are all continuous practices which keep going on and on and on. What is the third feature? Vagvidamvara. The vakpadutva. Okay, for Hanuman we say, no, vakpadutvam arogatha. This vakpadutva is vakchadurya. For a guru, it is not enough if they are very good in their knowledge and in their practical understanding or practice, their tapas. It is important to articulate and explain. Okay, that is where this vakpadutva comes into picture. For a great guru, they are able to describe, they are able to explain. They are also great orators. Narada is one such great guru where his vakpadutva is extraordinary. He is able to articulate whatever he is learnt or he is got as insights. The last one is Munipungava. Munipungava or Mananashilatva means consistent flow of the foundational principles in their mind. Okay, this is very, very important. If somebody is reading Ramayana, throughout the Chintana should be of Ramayana. Okay, we cannot be talking about Ramayana and in life we practice something else and we practice some adharma, etc. That is not going to be, it is a very, very important characteristic of a guru. A guru has to have that Thailadhara types of consistent thought in what they stand for. Okay, today a guru stands for, say, dharma. Tomorrow they cannot be giving or having a lot of practices which is only on artha. We see those reality, no? People who are great gurus, sometimes we also feel, we comment saying, oh, this person has become an arthavadi now. Okay, because their focus, suddenly somewhere it has shifted, their actions are not matching these words, then it becomes a problem. Padikkirathu Ramayana, Idikkirathu Perumal Kovil. Today also it came in the Vedic workshop. So it can't be, we talk something, we do something else. Therefore this Mananashilatva is very important. Therefore what are these four characteristics? Tapas, Swadhyaya, Vakpadutva and Munipungava. This is a very, very tough combination for a guru to have all these things. But all these characteristics were found in the great Rishi Narada. Okay, so for a guru, there are all these characteristics. What is the characteristic of a sishya? Okay, what should be the features of sishya? Okay, if guru itself has so many, then sishya should have more or less. A guru sometimes comes with only one book, but all the kids come with 4 books, no? For all the different subjects. But here Walmiki is not saying that. Walmiki says there is only one feature which is required for a good sishya. What is it? Tapasvi. Tapasvi means what? Shraddha. Shraddha is sincerity. For a guru, all these things are required, but for a sishya, a good sishya, Shraddha is the most important thing. Shraddhavan labate jnanam, says Gita. And that therefore here also we say Naradam paripapracha. Paripapracha means to again and again have that curiosity mindset. The quest for learning, the thirst for learning. We need to do a lot of susrusha to the guru such that the guru keeps giving more and more of their jnana, of their tapasiddhi to the student. So therefore this servitude, okay, this guru susrusha, for Rama also we see, no, Gurun susrushaya viraha dhanusha yudhi shatravan. Rama always is in guru susrusha. This susrusha becomes a very important thing. If a guru is there, a sishya is just like that passive. The guru will give only so much. Okay, but if the sishya is doing a lot of seva, doing a lot of susrusha and asking a lot of questions, obviously the sishya, before this, there is an important thing we need to understand. Whatever the guru is telling, the sishya should follow first. Okay, without following anything, just asking questions, the guru will get switched off very soon. They will say, okay, this person is not doing anything what I am saying, then what is the point? Here the Shraddha means whatever the guru says, the sishya should follow. And beyond that, the curiosity to learn more and more, to understand more, has to be there. Therefore, this paripapracha, an extraordinary sishya will have this Shraddha. If Shraddha is there, and Shraddha is also of different levels. If somebody is of the highest Shraddha and sincerity, what happens? Sometimes the guru comes in search of the sishya. That is what we see here. Narada, extraordinary guru with tapas, swadhyaya, vagvidambara and mananashilatva, he is coming in search of an extraordinary student. Who is this extraordinary student? Walmiki. Because of the extraordinary Shraddha, the sincerity. And sincerity and Shraddha for what? The curiosity to know more. The curiosity to know about what? That is what we are going to see further. So in this first sloka, we see this Guru Sishya Lakshana, where Narada, with great qualities of a guru, is coming towards an extraordinary Sishya, which is Walmiki. And Walmiki, the Shraddha is reflected at the beginning itself. Naradam paripapracha Walmikir Munipungavam. The moment Narada comes, we can see the Shraddha aspect of Walmiki. Walmiki is not asking, oh Guru, you have come. Have you brought me chocolates? Have you brought me fruits? Okay, are you giving me jnana? It's not straightforward, this, things like that. He is not asking like that. The curiosity, the Shraddha aspect can be seen here with a lot of Anushtana, etc. Walmiki is having certain questions in his mind. And the question is for what? That is the purpose of Ramayana we see. Beautifully, Walmiki puts all his questions, and that becomes the summary of what Walmiki Ramayana is all about. It is about the human values. He asks Narada very relevant questions. Kon vasmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmajnascha kritajnascha satyavakyo dridhavrataha charitrena chako yuktaha sarvabhuteshu ko hitaha vidvan kakkas samartascha kaschaikas priyadarshanaha atmavan ko jitakrodo dutiman ko nasuyakaha kasya bibyati devascha jataroshasya samyuge etadichami aham shrotum param kautuhalam hime maharshe tvam samartosi jnatumevam vidam naram kon vasmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan. Very beautifully, Walmiki is having certain questions, and that is the subject matter of Ramayana. In the first 6 slokas, Guru Sishya Parampara is done. So as students, aspirants of Walmiki Ramayana, we know what is to be expected from ourselves, what can be with our gurus. Okay, I already gave the glimpses. Our Guru Ranganji, Tapas, Swadhyaya, Vakpadutva, Mananashilatva. Who better example can we have for this? Okay, every breath is Ramayana, that is Mananashilatva. Tapas in terms of Anubhava, in terms of Anushtana, we can't see somebody who is parallel or greater than our Guruji. Vakpadutva, we can't even talk about it. Such a great oratorical skill, a master of great presentations and pravachana. He has got Doctor of Letters as a very small acknowledgement of the great work what he is doing. And obviously Swadhyaya, I already mentioned, the great Swadhyaya, it doesn't stop. Okay, sometimes the inspiration which our Guruji gives for us, we all feel he has accomplished so much, but his quest for learning is much higher than a lot of ours. How is this possible? Okay, and he is deriving his strength from Rama. Mahata svena vismitaha. Even during the intervals of his learning archery, he goes and spends time with Shila Vridaihi, Vayo Vridaihi, Jnana Vridai Sajjanaihi, Katayanastavi Nityam, Astra Yogyantareshvapi. Rama never stops learning. Rama's curiosity and quest is always there. Okay, that is the benchmark for Rangana. And for us, I think the earlier we are able to catch up with Rangana, the earlier we will catch up with Rama. Correct? That should be our goal. Our goal should be to charge ourselves saying we should run in that path. For that, the most important thing is Shraddha. Okay, with that Shraddha, we will be able to take each of this. We are already in the path of Swadhyaya. Tapas is being offered to everybody here. Even Vakpadutva is offered to everybody. That is something which is not given in a lot of places, a lot of educational institutions. Talking, public speaking, to sharpen your Vakpadutva is not available. Here we see in the latest Ramayana conference, who all spoke this time? Can you raise your hands? See, at least 5 or 6 people here. And whoever is missing here, all of them spoke. So at least some 35 people. 35 people gave lectures for half an hour to 1 hour each, and that has been seen by 5,000 to 10,000 people. Can you imagine all these things? The most important thing, therefore, for us to commit is to also build on that manana shilatva. Okay, we are all there. I mean, for us, Rama is our muchi, it's our breath. But we need to be very, very firmly attached to that and continue that great rigorous practice. So here, Walmiki is asking Narada a set of beautiful questions. Asmin sampratam loke, in this world, okay, we can always say, like we saw different systems, muscular system, circulatory system, etc., and all different systems are there. Walmiki is asking a set of gunas, it has to be present here. You cannot show, okay, in Indraloka somebody is there, in Brahmaloka somebody is there. That is not expected. We want the gunas, what I am asking, in this world it should be present. It should be present in whom? Jnatumevam vidam naram. It should be present in a human being. Okay. You cannot give one example of some deva that it is present, or in some other loka. That is not accepted. It has to be present in the contemporary world, that too right now. Don't give me examples of 500 years back there was one great person who was there. Okay, we see, for example, Veda commentary in entirety, we see the last person to have done is Sayanacharya. After that, Rangaji has written now. Maybe 700 years in between. You cannot come and say, no, this person, Rantideva is there. Okay, 2000 years back, this person had these qualities. Walmiki is very sharp in his questions. The another thing we need to understand from Walmiki is, one is Shraddha, the second thing is the sharpness of the questions. There is no loose element which is left. Sometimes we ask a very loose question. People will give answers which will suit, and then you can also find out the loophole and escape. Walmiki is a very smart sishya. Okay, smart sishya and smart guru. Therefore, he asks the questions where there is no loophole. I want in this contemporary world, right now that person should be there. And it should be a person. It cannot be some god or devata. You cannot give all those things. And then what? He asks, Gunavan kascha viryavan. That person has to be a man of values. That person has to be having valor. Dharmajnaha, kritajnaha cha. That person should be a person of dharma. That person should be a person of gratitude. Satyavak, that person should always speak the truth. Drita vrataha, that person should be steadfast. Like Himachala, like Himavan, that person should be rooted, solid as a rock. That person should flow like a river, but firm as a rock. Okay, that is the oxymoronic way how Walmiki asks how Narada is going to respond. That person should flow like water. Okay, but they should be in matters of principle. Himavan Ivachalaha. He should be unshakable. That person has to be Drida Vrataha. When Rama is told, you go to the forest, he flows like a water. Yes, I will accept life as it comes and I will go tomorrow. Today itself I will go. Today itself he started. But in the matter of principle, that it is truth, he never gave up truth. Every person from Ayodhya went there, including Vasishta, including Kaikeyi, and said, you need to come back. You please come back. And there Rama himself gives that sloka, right? Lakshmi Chandra Dapeyadva, Himavanva Himam Tajet, Atiyat Sagaro Velam, Napratikyam Aham Pituhu. I will never give up truth for anything else. Okay, that principle is fixed. That is the anchor for everybody. Dharma Moola Midam Jagat. Dharma is the foundation of the world. The foundation cannot be shaken at all. Drida Vrataha means we commit to a principle, that principle cannot be compromised at all. Okay, anything can be compromised. We see in Ayodhya Kanda that's what we see. He has given up his wealth, he has given up his bandhus. He was okay to even go beyond his mother's words or father's words. He certainly went beyond the full people, democratic words, ministers, gurus' words. But all this is for what? For Satya. The prioritization of dharma, Satya is the most important thing. And for Satya, all these things can be below it. Therefore, I cannot give up my father's words. I will go to the forest. After 14 years, I will come back. I will do all these things. That is Dhritavrataha. Charitrena chako yuktaha. The one's charitra, blemishless character. Okay, we see throughout the epic two blemishless characters, Sita and Rama. What extraordinary characters. And more importantly, Rama. That's why here Walmiki, Narada gives the reference of Rama. Rama is blemishless in terms of character. Charitrena vyakyati. Again, Rama, we can, like how through Vedas we are understanding Veda, here for each of every word here, we can understand from Ramayana slokas and relate where these things are coming. Charitra, the character should be blemishless. Sarvabhuteshu kohitaha. The one who is compassionate and who works for the welfare of every being in this world. It is very important. That is what Walmiki feels. Therefore, he is asking, Vidwan, who is a scholar. Samarthaha, who is the Samartyasali, who is the smart one. Samartha becomes smart, I think. Samartha, Kashchaika Priyadarshanaha, the one who is very pleasing to look at. Atmavan kaha jitakrodaha, the one who is Atmavan, who is won over all his senses. Jitakrodaha. In Ramayana, interestingly, some places we will hear anger is bad. Or desire is bad. In Ramayana, we seldom see that. Here it's always how you need to channelize your anger, how you need to channelize and understand your desire. Okay, Rama never says. That's why we also see dharma, kama, artha, tattvajnaha. We also see how dharma, kama, artha, those things were resident in Rama, how he was able to channelize each of this. In fact, when he is asking Bharata, he is asking, are you prioritizing each of this? One cannot be give up for the sake of others. So therefore, everything has its purpose. For a human, it's a beautiful triangle. You need to have it in balance. Dharma, artha and kama. So therefore, here, jita krodaha. We also see for harsha and krodha, amoga krodha harshascha is Rama's guna. Moga means waste. It is always useful. What is useful? Rama's laughter. Okay, he doesn't waste his laughter. Some people always bully others and keep laughing. Okay, sadistic pleasure. It's not going to help them at all. At the end of it, for them also, it is going to create trouble. But if Rama smiles, Rama laughs, there is a purpose behind it. And it is not going to be harmful for anybody. Likewise, amoga krodha harshascha. Krodha is also always useful krodha. Okay, it's a very intelligent, it's a very new thing, no? People will say, no, don't be angry, don't be angry. It is not about don't be angry. You need to be angry for a purpose. Okay, that purpose is very important. You need to channelize your anger. In fact, in Karadushanavata, he says, Krodam aharaya masa. Okay, that is how Rama starts for the war. He is taking the Krodha as his food. Okay, he is taking the Krodha and going to attack the Rakshasas. Why? Because that is the place to show Krodha. In fact, that is why Garuda says in Yuddhakanda, Ripunamapi Vatsala. I mean, don't show compassion to these people, show your Krodha. He also impels Rama saying, no, you go with lot more anger. And that's what we see in Bhola Bala Yuddha. Any of the great war, he grows with his Krodha and then he becomes impossible. That's what he says in the next question. Kasya bibhyati devascha jataroshasa samyuge. With that Rosha, if it comes, even the celestials cannot stand in front of that person. Who is that person? Dutiman, resplendent person. Kaha anasuya kaha. That person cannot be jealous. Who has all these? And after all these things, he closes saying, Etadichanaham shrotum param kautugham mime. Now, like the systems we saw, can Narada give example one person for one of this? Okay, for Dharmavan somebody, for Viryavan somebody else, for Kritanyata somebody else, for Atmavan somebody else. He says, I want one person who has all these gunas. Okay, it is important for us to learn from that person. Therefore, what is the objective of Walmiki Ramayana? It is very clear from this. All these values are the best of the human values. If this combination of human values is available in a person, we will be able to learn from that person. We see Ramayana as a living embodiment of Vedic values. The rhythm in Veda is seen as dharma in Ramayana. And if that person is known, we understand the life history, we try to become that person. The more and more we immerse, the more and more we practice. First swadhyaya, tapas, same thing should happen. That's why our Ramayana culture is not about learning a story once and then leaving it. Some of our Ramayana classes are continuing for 20 years. Okay, some people come and ask, oh, Ramayana is a story. No, once you know it, you know it. No, what is the point in repeating the story again and again? Now, every year we will have the story which will go on for 1 year, again next year, again next year. Why? Swadhyaya is only once you might know the story, but that Swadhyaya also we need to keep doing it. We need to keep practicing, like how we practice the Vedic chanting. But after Swadhyaya comes tapas. For us, Ramayana is tapas. It's not Swadhyaya. It is very important for all of us to explain this to people. Ramayana is our meditation. Rama is our Ishtadevata. For us to become Rama Tavasmi, this step of this tapas has to happen. Anushtana has to have Ramayana. Our anubhuti will happen only if that anushtana happens. So therefore this learning becomes that more powerful. Again and again, again and again, again and again. And all these things have to be available in that one person. If that one person is known, we need to hold on to that person. Okay, this is the purpose of Walmiki here. Walmiki asked this so that he feels then once I know this person, then we need to hold on to that person. Today, what is the identity of Walmiki? Rama. These 4 slokas, in fact 3 slokas, these 3 slokas define Walmiki. Walmiki existed, exists and will exist because Brahma is going to give him that kind of Ashirvada. For these 3 lines, beautiful lines, all these gunas who has, oh Maharshe, you are a Samartha. You please tell, you cannot say, no, I don't know. Because I know you know. Okay, this is like the Johari's window. There are four windows which are there. There is one part where I know, but others don't know. There is a part where I know, others also know. There is one part where others know, I don't know. There is the last part which is called blind spot, nobody knows. Okay, so here it is like as if Walmiki is telling Narada, I know you know this. Please tell me now. I want to know. This is the curiosity. Okay, if such kind of elevated question comes, which guru will not be happy? Okay, very, very happy. Here Narada becomes, immediately he says, Bahavo durlabhaschaiva ye toya kirtita gunaha. He is very happy first with this question. Okay, some people become chella sishya for a guru if they ask questions like this. So all of you, the learning from this chapter is, can we all become that Walmiki in terms of our questions, in terms of our susrusha, in terms of our paripapracha, our curiosity for dharma vishya. That is very important. For atma vishya, dharma vishya, the matters of principles are the highest. Typically I think Anna used to say there are 3 levels at which conversations happens. Okay, one is about people. About people it's all gossips. The second level is about events. Okay, that is slightly better than what happens at a conversation about people. Because with people we'll start talking some gunas, then slowly it will go into all the korai, all their misgivings, etc. and all, then it becomes one gossip, grapevine. With events, at least it is slightly more objective. The best of the conversations happens with principles and values. So if you can elevate to that level, then any guru will be very, very happy with this kind of an approach. So Narada immediately says, it is very difficult to find somebody like this, but then I know somebody who is there. Ikshvaku vamsha prabhavaha ramo nama janai shrutaha niyatatma mahaviryo drutiman vashi. Then immediately Narada says, there is a person in the lineage of Ikshvakus called Rama. This Rama has all these virtues. Then he gives in detail 16 gunas. Walmiki is asking, Narada gives 64 different gunas, including physical appearance, including the great values what he possesses. Very, very beautiful verses. Dharmagyaha satyasandascha prajanam chahite rataha prajapati samashriman dhatari purushu danaha rakshita jiva lokasya dharmasya parirakshita rakshita swasya dharmasya swajanasya rakshita sarva shastrartha tattvagyaha smritiman pratibhanavan. Today we saw this. how that person knows not just the Shastra, but also the Artha, but also the Tattva of it. Samudra iva gambirye, he is as grand as the ocean. Dhairye himavan iva. Dhairya is what? Courage is not to give up. Dhridavrataha. Dhridavrataha and courage. Dhairya is associated with each other. Vishnuna sadrisho virye, somavat priyadarshanaha, kalagni sadrisha krodaha. His kopa is like the Agni kopa. It's like the volcanic eruption. His anger is unfathomable. If it erupts, it erupts. That's how the great Rakshasa army, and especially the Mula Bala Yuddha, is extraordinary. One person who is able to kill thousands of Rakshasas in very few minutes, like how we see in Kradushana also. Such a kind of anger, such a kind of prowess, such a kind of prakrama he has. The same line, Walmiki Narada says, Kshamaya Prithvi Samaha, the one who has forbearance like the earth, the one whose krodha is the other extreme. So we can very clearly see these extremes are possible in one person. Okay, we can find it oxymoronic. Oxymoron means like this, there are two extremes. It could be looking like a dvanda opposite. But it is possible, which is why the channelizing, yoga is like that. The Yogishwaras are able to maintain that equilibrium. They are able to hold themselves to that middle point. Okay, they can go to that extreme when it is required, and then they'll come back. They can go to this extreme, but they can come back. This elasticity is there in these Yogishwaras. It's very important. With our practices, we get that kind of maturity. Dhanadena samastyaga satye dharmaiva paraha. The Tyaga is equivalent to Kubera, and he is a man of Satya and Dharma. Such a great Rama, Narada immediately also gives a Sankshepa Ramayana to Walmiki. He doesn't end with saying, okay, these are the values. You asked an extraordinary question. You wanted a person with extraordinary values. Here I am giving you an extraordinary man. Rama is his name. He is from Ikshvaku dynasty. He is right now there. And he immediately gives a glimpse of what happened in the history of Rama. He says Rama was born to Dasharatha. Dasharatha, after seeing all these values, Tamevam guna sampannam Rama satya parakramam, jeshtam sreshta guna yuktam priyam Dasharatha sutam. It's not just because he was the eldest son, he was also sreshta. And he also had all these virtues. Therefore, Dasharatha wanted to coronate. But unfortunately, his wife, Kaikeyi, was not keen on this. She wanted to crown her son Bharata. Therefore, she asked for boons, by which Rama was banished to the forest. And to the forest, why did Rama go? To guard the father's oath. We saw already how he is Dhridavrataha, Satyavak. We see both together. Satyavakyo Dhridavrataha. So for a Satyavak of Dasharatha, he became a Dhridavrata. So he went to the forest to hold on to those words. And out of affection, his brother Lakshmana also went with him. And the great universal mother, the goddess Sita Devi, Sarva Lakshana Sampanna, Narina Muttama Vaduhu, Sita Pyanugata Ramam, Shashinam Rohiniyata. Like how Rohini is always with the moon, she also went along with Rama to the forest. She's a person with all great qualities. They went by foot, by chariot to some distance. Then after Tamasa, they went by foot. They went to Shringiperapura, they met Guha, they crossed Ganga. Then they came and settled in Chitrakoot. By this time, Dasharatha was missing Rama so much that he attained heavens. Vasishta and everybody wanted to coronate Bharata. Bharata came back from his mama's place. He was not interested in this. He wanted Rama to rule. He said, this is not the way this should happen. With the entire army, he went to Chitrakoot and he met Rama. He prostrated again and again. He pleaded with Rama saying, you need to come and you need to rule all of us. Please come. This is what he said. But Rama said, no, already we saw that sloka. Like Himachala, I cannot move from the vrata what I have taken. Father's words are critical, so I need to hold on to those words. I will not come. Then as a proxy, finally, Rama's sandals were offered to Bharata. Like Bharata says in Bharadwaja Ashrama, because of Vasishta's prerana that happened. Bharata came to Nandigrama. He was ruling the entire kingdom with the Padukas. Here Rama continued into the forest in Janasthana. Sita was abducted by Ravana after Surpanaka's episode. She was kept captive in Lanka. Rama continued to search for Sita. Everywhere he searched for his beloved wife. He couldn't find anywhere. He saw Kabanda. Kabanda's arms were cut. And then Kabanda showed the way to Sugriva. Shabari's moksha as a Sakshi Bhuta, Rama was able to witness. Then he came to Sugriva. He befriended Sugriva. He killed Vali, who was Adharmatma. Sugriva sent a lot of Vanara warriors to find Sita. Hanuman crossed the ocean of 100 yojanas with a single leap and searched for Sita everywhere, found her in Ashokavana, consoled her, and then came back with renewed confidence instilled in Sita Devi. He destroyed a lot of warriors there. He advised Ravana, but Ravana was in no mood to return Sita. He came back here. Vibhishana came back to the side of Rama. Rama, with a great army of Vanaras, Rikshas, Golangulas, went into the southern ocean. With Nala's help, with Samudra Raja's help, he was able to build a Nala Setu. He crossed to the other side of that ocean. Then the great war started. Ravana was put to an end along with his entire gang. Saputra Bandavaha. Ravana was put to an end. And then Vibhishana was coronated. Indra gave great boons. Sita Devi was put to a test by Rama. Sita Devi came out very successful. Rama was very happy with the outcome of that. And both of them, they shined. They shone again like moon and Rohini star. Indra gave a great boon that all Vanaras who were dead, they all came back to life. Then all of them came back to Ayodhya. The great Pattabhishega happened. And after that, Ramarajya is happening. That is what Narada concludes. Narada says, Ramarajya is happening now. And in this Ramarajya, widows don't suffer. The young people don't suffer. The old people don't suffer. Things happen in a very sequential manner. The natural, in fact, Narada says very beautifully about the natural scheme of things. Na chagnijam bayam kinchit napsu majjanti jantavaha na vatajam bayam kinchit napi jvarakritam tata. There is no fear of fire. There is no fear of storm. There is no fear of cyclonic storms. There is no fear of oceans crossing the boundaries. Okay, a lot of, interestingly, more than the last Palashruti here, Narada deals more with natural elements. We saw more about Devatas today. Narada is also talking more about the Devata forces. Okay, human forces, I think, must be much lesser for him. He says, no, all the Devatas are giving a lot of good Kadaksha to Ramarajya, and Ramarajya is very peaceful. People, everybody seems to be very much in their own dharma. And after ruling for many years, he will reach the divine. Okay, so what happens during this point of the story? All this has been exhibited. Ramarajya is happening when Walmiki is listening to the story. Okay, then Walmiki in his yoga, he sees the entire story again. Okay, he is able to witness all the three kalas. So therefore, he is able to witness from his yogic intellect also again the same story. Towards the end, here Narada says, Etad akyanam ayushyam patan Ramayanam naraha Saputra Pauras Saganaha Pretyaswarge Mahiyate. Whoever is learning and practicing this great Ramayana, they will reach heavens. Patan Dijo Vag Rishabhatva Syar Kshatriyo Bhumi Patitva Miyat Vanijjanaha Panya Paratva Miyat Janascha Shudropi Mahatva Miyat. All the four classes, the Brahmanas who are reading this, they will have very, very good Rishabhatva. Anna has translated this as Vedic expertise. Okay, basically, I think the more tapas, I think we are all used to hearing is the tapas having fruits. Okay, tapas siddhi. That's what we see. Even Shabari, Rama asks, has your tapas fructified? But when I read this, generally what occurs is, has the swadhyaya become fructified to become tapas? Okay, therefore Vedic expertise is growing. Okay, the more somebody reads Ramayana, I think their Vedic expertise grows. That's what happens for all of us. Therefore, from Swadhyaya, we will transcend and move towards tapas. Our anubhuti will come. Anubhuti is not easy. Okay, we can see in organizations, generally it is an inverted pyramid. Okay, a lot of people will be in the bottom. At the top, there will be very few people. What is the purpose of those top people? They will not be doing anything. They will only be thinkers. So thinking is all the more difficult activity than doing. Okay, so anubhuti, the the pratibha is not an easy thing. Intuition is very difficult. For somebody like Anna, intuition will come every day, multiple times. For some of us, it might come once in multiple days. Okay, so therefore, how do we bridge this to this? That is what this says. This Swadhyaya will lead us to that kind of a tapas. For any Kshatriya, their administration will grow. For any of the Vanijjanas, their business will grow. And for all the Shudras, they will attain great Mahatva. This is what Narada says. After telling this great story, he leaves from that place. Walmiki is very, very fulfilled. Walmiki has listened to, it is like his Janma Sapalya today. Okay, he has listened to what was maybe itching in his mind for quite some time. He wanted to know about this great person with extraordinary values. And now he is holding that treasure in his heart. With that treasure, he is going towards Tamasa along with his disciples. And there, his usual time of taking bath, and rishis, they take 3 times bath. So he is gone for his afternoon bath. There he goes there. And very, very beautiful Tamasa. The clean, crystal clear water. Okay, he looks at that and then says, Akardamamidam tirtam Bharadvaja nishamaya Ramaniyam prasannambu Sanmanushya manoyata Sanmanushya manoyata Akardamamidam tirtam Akardamamidam tirtam. He looks at that beautiful flowing water, very crystal clear, no impurity. Bharadvaja, his disciple. Bharadvaja, you look at this crystal clear water, and then the comparison he gives, that is the level of elevation at which Walmiki or the rishis are. Generally, when we look at any of us, okay, the kind of comparison we give is, we look at somebody and say, oh, you are looking as beautiful as the moon. You are looking as resplendent as the sun. You are looking as beautiful or as fierce as a tiger. Okay, the comparison is to a person, you will give the comparison from natural elements. Okay, you are, even Ravana says, no, I am as fast as the wind. That is how it is. But here, look at this beauty. Ramaniyam prasannambu sanmanushya manoyata. He sees this beautiful water, prasanna ambu. Very pleasant, tranquil water. This looks like the clean heart of a noble soul. Okay, the comparison for a natural element is against the pure, tranquil soul of Sanmanushya. Okay, obviously it could be a sun. It can't be any human being. It's not that. But the comparison is the other way around. Okay, such is their greatness. The grandeur of Walmiki is seen here. The comparison he gives, looking at water, he says, this water is crystal clear like the heart, the pure heart, the blemishless heart, the tranquil heart, the serene heart of a great sant. Okay, he sees that and he keeps walking around. Then suddenly he sees 2 krauncha pakshis. Okay, lovebirds, the on krauncha and pen krauncha, the he and she krauncha, playing with each other. Suddenly there is a hunter who is come there. He is resolved to commit a sin. Because even for hunters, there are codes. They cannot just like that hunt when this kind of love play is happening between the birds or deers, etc. and all. Unfortunately, he aims at the he krauncha. The he krauncha is killed. It falls down. The she krauncha is circumambulating again and again and cries pitiably at that he krauncha and shedding tears of sorrow. Very, very pitiably it cries that touches the heart of the sant. Sanmanushya manoyata. Again, tears. Tears are also a pure form of love. Okay, the tears is touching Walmiki's heart. And suddenly, Walmiki is struck by melancholy. He is struck by that sorrow. He is struck by that compassion. Okay, we all see why Rama did his avatara, why Krishna did his avatara. Because of this compassion. Okay, the great Rama came to this world because of the sufferings of the people who are here. The Devas and the sufferings here went to the level of even Devas, not just the humans. All species and Devas suffered. They went and asked Lord Narayana to come for saving everybody. That is what we see. Out of compassion, Karuna Sagara. The person, the great Lord Rama is the embodiment of Karuna. Here that same compassion is coming to Walmiki here. Tata karuna veditvat adharmoyam iti dujaha nishamya rudatim kraunchim idam vachanam abravit. With that great compassion, he feels sad for this act of this hunter. He immediately says something which looks like a curse for that hunter, but esoterically it means something else. Manishada pratishtam tvam agamaha shaswati samaha yat krauncha mitunadekam avadi kamamohitam avadihi kamamohitam. That Krauncha has been killed by this hunter. So immediately Walmiki says, "Oh hunter, you will not be present in this world for long. Ma nishada shaswati samaha. You will not be present in this world for a long time, because when the two birds were in love play, you killed Krauncha mitunat ekam. You killed one of them when they were in kamamohitam." Suddenly he feels this looks like a sloka. From the shoka, slokatvam agataha. There is a sloka which has come. How is this possible? I am in deep misery, but how come a sloka has come? Then he feels that this also has some other meaning. He is brooding again and again. He is thinking about it. The esoteric meaning of this is Manshada, Tirurayum Selva. Okay. Oh Vishnu, who has Lakshmi in his heart. Oh Vishnu, you will be present in this world for a long time. Why? Because you have killed. Krauncha also means a Rakshasa. The he Rakshasa here is Ravana. The lusty Ravana. Kamamohitam Krauncha. The Krauncha which was with a lot of lust, which was Ravana. Because this Paradabhimarshanam was his dharma himself. He says, Sudharmam Rakshaso Biru. He feels that this is my entitlement. Okay, whoever he likes, he will go and bring that lady. That is what his history says. So he has been lusty. That lusty Ravana, that wrathful Ravana, because you killed Avadihi, therefore Shaswati Samaha Pratishtam, you will always be present for eternity. Vishnu, which is Rama here, for killing Ravana, your glory will be there forever. This is the esoteric meaning of this sloka. The exoteric meaning sounds as if it is a curse given to the hunter that he will not last long. The moment he says this, he feels, how is this possible? Why has it come? And the greatness of sishyas, that's why I suggested that some of us should always carry notes when our Guruji talks, so that we capture some of these things. Here you see, the first person to catch is Bharadwaja. Like we see in the history of Ramanuja, a lot of what Ramanuja says, Kuratarwar, his disciple, will quickly take notes. In fact, he brought a lot of these Divya Prabandha, some of the great scriptures from north, and suddenly in between some of these thieves, they will come and take all these belongings. Okay, so Ramanuja will be very, very upset, saying, I have lost all the great Bokisha, what I have gone to different Divya Desas, collected something. Then Kuratarwar will say, no, I remember everything. He'll say, how, what happened? Overnight I have memorized everything. Okay, such is the greatness of disciples. What great disciples and what great Guru Sishya Parampara we have had. Okay, extraordinary. Today Anna was talking about each of the Guru Parampara. Okay, from a Nadamuni to an Alavandar to Periyavachan Pillai, etc. What extraordinary contribution about in Vaishnavam, how Rama Katha has come till now. I mean, it is a living culture for us, this Rama Kathamrita Sara. Is a living culture for us. Such a great Guru Parampara we have here. Immediately Bharadwaja has already memorized that same verse, and again he sings. Walmiki is very happy. Oh, Bharadwaja has already memorized, and when he sings, and he feels that this is with great meters, with perfect diction, with great syllables, etc. It can be used with Veena Vadya, with string instruments, and it can be played, it can be tuned to music. This is what he feels. He takes bath, he comes back to the ashram, and when he enters into the ashram, Brahmadeva is there. Okay, just now we were talking about what a wonderful feature this human body is. The great Brahmadeva, the one who is the creator, is sitting there. He has come there. Walmiki immediately does Argya, Padya, Achamniya, etc. and he offers a seat to Brahmadeva. And he also, Brahmadeva says, you also sit. He also sits there. But his mind is not in Brahmadeva. Okay, his mind is still in that same sloka. Manishada Pratishtamtam Agamaha Shastri Samaha Yatkavancha Mitunadekam Avadi Kam Mohitam. How this sloka came to me, from my shoka, how this came, again and again he is brooding over that. Then immediately Brahma is smiling. Brahma is smiling at him and says, "O Walmiki Rishi, it is true that you have composed a verse. Machanda devate Brahman pravritteyam saraswati Ramasya charitam kritsnam kurutvam rishi sattama." Because of my chanda. Okay, this was even Walmiki is brooding, without me thinking, without my sankalpa, how did a verse come? Okay, how did I compose a sloka? Brahma explains, it is not your sankalpa, it is my sankalpa. Machanda devate Brahman pravritteyam saraswati. Because of my sankalpa, Saraswati flowed in your heart. And because of that, you are able to compose this beautiful verse. And he says, Ramasya charitam krishnam kurutvam rishi sattama. You have heard about Rama charita from Narada, your guru. You can do that story. Ramasya charitam krishnam. You write the history of Rama. Dharmatmano gunavataha loke Ramasya dhimataha vrittam kataya dhirasya yatate Narada chutam. As you have heard from Narada, you compose this beautiful story of Rama. And what will happen? Once you sit thinking about this Rama story, this is all Brahma Vak. Okay, Brahma is giving all these blessings. This is the Upodgata to Ramayana. After this, Walmiki starts composing. Rahasyam cha prakasham cha yadvrittam tasya dhimataha Ramasya saha saumitre rakshasanam ja sarvashaha. There will be nothing which is secret to you. Okay, which is why we see for a lot of others, they would have been great in tapas, but all of them wrote following Walmiki. For Walmiki, Brahma's blessing is you will be able to see in your tapas, you will be able to see in your yoga the entire history, and this can explain to us how the kind of detailing which Walmiki gives, nobody is else able to reproduce. One, it is contemporary. The second is what Brahma says, Rahasyam cha prakasham cha. There is nothing which will be secret. You will be able to see Ramayana as is. You narrate that story. It is important. Nate vag anrita kavye kachidatra bhavishyati kuru rama katam punyam shlokabaddham manoramam. Nate vag anrita kavye. What you say is the truth. What comes from your words, there is nothing which is untruth which will come. Nate vag anrita kavye kachidatra bhavishyati. In any place. Okay, the entire, so this itself is proof. For us, Ramayana, the most authentic, blessed by Brahma, is Walmiki Ramayana. Okay, and this is the one which is seen to that great amount of detailing. He is the contemporary. There are many of these reasons which makes it most authentic. Okay, so here Brahma blesses with all these things, and towards the end, he doesn't even end with this. He also says, Palashruti of till when, this is not Rama Rajya's Palashruti, but Ramayana Palashruti. Yavat stasyanti girayaha saritascha mahitale tavad Ramayana kata lokeshu pracharishyati. Yavat stasyanti girayaha. Till the time mountains and rivers are present in this world, till that time Ramayana kata will be present in this world. Okay, such is the greatness. So any normal mortal can try to do whatever harm to Ramayana. Ramayana will stay forever. Okay, it is important. We need to keep putting our efforts, because this we need to relate back to the first sloka. The tapas and swadhyaya is very important. Okay, for us, it will keep pushing us to much higher levels of abhyudaya and nishrayasa both. Okay, but the greatness of Ramayana is much greater than all of us. Ramayana is going to be there for eternity. And he doesn't end there. He says, Yavad Ramayana kata tvatkrita pracharishyati tavat urdvamadaschatvam mallokeshu nivasyati. Till the time Ramayana is flowing in this world, you will be enjoying the heavens in my worlds. This is the blessing given to Walmiki by Brahma. Then Brahma also leaves. Walmiki's disciples are wonderstruck. What is this conversation? Okay, Brahma suddenly comes and he is giving this kind of blessing. Narada was asked these questions by Walmiki. Narada gave an answer also. Such a great person with all these things. And suddenly there is a verse which has come, and the verse is very, very beautifully balanced with great syllables. And they are all very wonderstruck. They are also charged. Immediately they all again and again recite the same verse. Manishada pratishtam tvam agama shaswati samaha yat krauncha mitunadekam avadihi kamamohitam avadihi kamamohitam. Again and again they are all reciting that particular verse, and Walmiki is meditating on that. And after that he decides that I will compose this with the similar kind of meters, with the kind of conjunctions, conjugations, etc., which is there. And the moment he feels like this, okay, we all remember this Bharadwaja's Atityam. When Bharadwaja, in his meditation, he feels that all these devatas should come here and then bless everybody. Everybody comes running. The Apsaras, the devatas, the Gandharvas, Tumburu, etc., all the food items, etc. Likewise here, the moment Walmiki thinks that he is going to compose this, Tadupakata samasa sandhiyogam samamaduropanatartha vakyabaddham Raghuvara charitam munipranitam dasashiraschavadam nishamayadvam Tadupakata samasa sandhiyogam. All the samasa sandhis, okay, all these words, the rare words, usual words, all the words come running towards Walmiki. Because, like how we see, where Rama looks, okay, whoever Rama has looked at, and wherever the person has looked at Rama, the people who missed all these things, they were all chiding themselves. We see, no? Yascha Ramam na pashyetu, yancha Ramo na pashyati, nidita savase loke, swatmapyanam vigarhate. The people who are not seen by Rama, or the people who are not seen Rama, they were all chided by others, and they were all chiding themselves. Their atmas were cursing themselves, saying, such a great Rama has come on the royal streets, and you didn't go and you didn't go and see. If you had gone, he also would have seen you. Okay, Rama in the chariot, everybody feels everybody has been seen by Rama. Okay, likewise here, all the words, all the syllables, all the meters, they are all running towards Walmiki. None of them want to be left out. Because in Ramakatha, how can I not participate in Ramakatha? That is how everybody is coming, and then they are all participating in this great history, the great history of Rama. We will continue what happens from here, how he is composing this great story from the next session onwards. Janaki Kanta Smaranam Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki. Kanam Rama.
Shri Narada Nada, Shri Narada Nada, Sarasiruha Bringa Shubhanga, 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 Shri Narada Nada, Sarasiruha Dinamana Rakshaka दीनमान रक्षक दीनमान रक्षक दीनमान रक्षक जगदीश वेश संकाश दीनमान रक्षक जगदीश वेश संकाश श्रीनारदनाद सरसीरुह भृङ्ग शुभांग श्रीनारद नाद वेद जनित वर वीणा वादन तत्त्वज्ञ वेद जनित वर वीणा वादन तत्त्वज्ञ केदहर त्रितापरहित केचर विनुत यादव कुल जाप्त सदा मोद हृदय मुनिवर्य यादव कुल जाप्त सदा मोद हृदय मुनिवर्य श्रीदत्यागराज विनुत श्रीदत्यागराज विनुत श्रीदत्यागराज विनुत श्रीकर मां पालय श्रीदत्यागराज विनुत श्रीकर मां पालय श्रीनारदनाद सरसीरुह भृङ्ग शुभांग श्रीनारदनाद सरसीरुह भृङ्ग शुभांग ராமனை கோடு மன்னா கண்ணான ராமனை கோடு மன்னா ராமனை கோடு மன்னா கண்ணான ராமனை கோடு மன்னா சுருள் சுருளான கருமுடி மீக அருள் சுரக்கும் நல்ல உள்ளம் மிகுந்த ராமனை கோடு மன்னா கண்ணான ராமனை கோடு மன்னா அஞ்சாமல் மைந்தனை வேள்வியை காத்து அறக்கரை அழிக்கவே அனுப்பிவை மன்னா அஞ்சாமல் மைந்தனை வேள்வியை காத்து அறக்கரை அழிக்கவே அனுப்பிவை மன்னா அளவிற்கு மிஞ்சினார் அமுதமும் விஷமென்பர் அளவுக்கு மிஞ்சினார் அமுதமும் விஷமென்பர் அமிதமான பாச பாசம் பிள்ளையை கெடுக்கும் மன்னா, அமிதமான பாசம் பிள்ளையை கெடுக்கும் மன்னா, ராமனை கோடு மன்னா, கண்ணான ராமனை கோடு மன்னா. தலைமை குணம் கொண்ட உன் மகனுக்கு, தலைமை குணம் கொண்ட உன் மகனுக்கு பலவித நன்மைகளை பயக்கிடுவேன், பலவித நன்மைகளை பயக்கிடுவேன். சலனமும் சீற்றமும் எனதியலில்லை, சலனமும் சீற்றமும் எனதியலில்லை. வீர குலமகள் வீரனை கேட்டு வந்துள்ளே, குலமக வீரனை கேட்டு வந்துள்ளேன். ராமனை கோடு மன்னா, கண்ணான ராமனை கோடு மன்னா.
யானறிவேன் ராமன் மகிமையை நன்றே,
யானறிவேன் ராமன் மகிமையை நன்றே.
வானவர் நாயகன் அரங்கனின் இறைவன்,
வானவர் நாயகன் அரங்கனின் இறைவன்.
ஞானதியான விஷ்ணும் அறிவார், ஞானதியான
வசிஷ்டரும் அறிவார்.
தியானம் மிகந்தோர் யாவரும் அறிவார், தியானம் மிகுந்தோர் யாவரும் அறிவார். ராமனை கோடு மன்னா, கண்ணான ராமனை கோடு மன்னா.
दासाची संपत्ती राम सीतापती, राम सीतापती. दासाची संपत्ती राम सीतापती,
संपत्ती राम सीतापती.
जीवाच्या संगती राम एक, जीवाच्या संगती राम एक. दासाची संपत्ती राम सीतापती, दासाची संपत्ती राम सीतापती. जीवाच्या संगती राम एक, जीवाच्या संगती राम एक. राम एक माता राम एक पिता,
राम एक माता राम
राम सहोदर राम एक भ्राता सहोदर राम एक भ्राता सहोदर एक ज्ञान राम एक ज्ञान राम एक ज्ञान
उडाला जाऊन लंकाला बापा मारुती आला बापा मारुती आला ले बापा मारुती आला बापा मारुती आला ले बापा मारुती आला बापा मारुती आला ले बापा मारुती आला बापा उडाला उडाला जाऊन रंका आला बापा मारुती आला बापा मारुती आला ले बापा मारुती मारुती आला बापा मारुती आला ले बापा मारुती आला बापा मारुती आला बापा मारुती आला ले बापा मारुती आला बापा मारुती आला बापा मारुती आला ले बापा मारुती आला बापा मारुती उडाला उडाला जाऊन लंका आला बापा मारुती उडाला लंका जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय जय हनुमान जय हनुमान Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. 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 Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Bolo Veera Dheera Sura Anjaneya Swami ki.
रमणीय राजभवने मल्लिका शोकाति कुसुमवने सीता कल्याण वैभवम् दशविधसुमति द्रव्यधूपे दगदगज्वलित कर्पूरदीपे सीता कल्याण वैभवम् बहुविध शोभन द्रव्य संपूर्णे भावुक प्रेमिक जन संकीर्णे सीता कल्याण वैभवम् स्वागतं स्वागतं जानकी रामा स्वागतं स्वागतं सम्पूर्ण कामा उपवेश नवरत्न मणिमय मञ्जे सहसीतया देवा नवपुष्पपुञ्जे बिम्बामि पदयोररक्तं दलितम् अम्बोदसमनील नवरागमिलितं मलयज चन्दनं वक्षसि विपुले मङ्गलविग्रह कलयामि विमले कस्तूरि तिलकं ते विलिकामि ललाटे कमलाक्ष रघुवीर परिशोभित क्रीडे माधवी मल्लिका मरुवक माला माधवा तव कण्ठे धृत्वा कुरुलीला वेलारि संयुक्तं कुरमेशं क्षीरं नीलालकरगुणायक सुन्दर मधुरं कर्पूर परिमलं ताम्बूलमिह ददामि स्वीकुरु सरसं दाशरथे आदिरोग्य सीतया नवरत्नरोला अनुज्ञाभ्य प्रेमिक गुरु प्रेम लीला स्वागतं स्वागतं स्वागती रामा
मारुत चंचल विरोधने मंदारादिक कुसुम सुगंधे विहरति रघुवीरहा हृदया विहरति रघुवीरहा सरस संगीत रस परिपूर्णे वसंत विराजित उद्यानवने विहरति रघुवीरहा सीतया विहरति रघुवीरहा पुष्प विनिर्दित कंदुकेन प्रेमिका प्रियया प्रियवचनेन विहरति रघुवीरहा सीतया विहरति रघुवीरहा जय जय रघुवीर श्रीराजपुत्रा जय जय सौमित्री प्रेमैकपात्रा जय जय सुग्रीव दासेन्द्रमित्रा जय जय पादोद सच्चाय गात्रा जय जय संपुल्ल रक्ताब्जनेत्रा जय जय ब्रह्मादि सुरकृतस्तोत्रा जय जय वाल्मीकि कृतसच्चरित्रा जय जय पवमान तनयाब्जमित्रा जय जय साकेत राजराजेन्द्र जय जय सर्वेशा सद्गुणसान्त्रा जय जय प्रेमिका तारक मंत्रा जय जय मां पाहि श्रीरामचन्द्रा जय जय श्रीमती जनकेशनन्दिनी रतिकोटिसुन्दरी नवकिशोरी सुनयना कुमारी सुरमनोहरी रघुनन्दनानन्द वर्तनकरी नवमल्लिका पुष्प मण्डितसुवेणी नवरत्नभूषणे मधुरवाणी कल्याणवेश कमनीयरूपिणी कोसलराज कुमारकामिनी साकेत साम्राज्य सकल स्वामिनी सरस संगीत रसिक स्वभाविनी सरयू नदी तीर उद्यान विहारिणी शरणं भवदेवी प्रेमिका जननी प्रेमलतादि सखिजन भराब्ज मन्दस्पन्दितान्दोले विलसन्तम् वामाङ्गशोभित मैथिलीराज नन्दिनी वदनम् आलोकयन्तम् आलोकय सखी राजकुमारं रूपकलादि सखी जनबादित वीणामृदङ्गादि सङ्गीतरसिकम् तापरहित शारद चन्द्र चन्द्रिका शोभित सुन्दर सुमुखम् आलोकय सखे राजकुमारम् कुटिल कुन्दल वारनिवदा अभिनव मल्लिका कुसुमहारम् निटिल शोभित मृगमद तिलका वदनं मृदुहास प्रेमिका मनोहरम् आलोकय सखी राजकुमारम् केतादीश जय चारुकेशा जय दिव्यमणिभूष जय राघवेशा जय राजेन्द्र कुमार जगदेक वीरा जय सीता मनोहर नवपुष्पहारा लाली जय श्यामलाकार जय पीताम्बरा जय शत्रु संहार जय मनोहरा लाली जय दिव्य लावण्य जय जगत् पुण्या जय प्रेमिकानन्य जय लोकमान्या जानकी मनोहराय जय मङ्गलम् जलजनील सुन्दराय शुभमङ्गलम् जानकी मनोहराय जय मङ्गलम् कुण्डरीकलोचनाय कुण्डलादिभूषणाय खण्डपादुवंशजाय जय मङ्गलम् जानकी मनोहराय जय मङ्गलम् पापवृन्दमोचनाय तापवर्यभञ्जनाय धूपचक्ररञ्जनाय जय मङ्गलम् जानकी मनोहराय जय मङ्गलम् कामकोपवर्धिताय सोमशेखराधिताय प्रेमिकेन्द्रपूजिताय जय मङ्गलम् जानकी मनोहराय जय मङ्गलम् जलजनीलसुन्दराय शुभमङ्गलम् जानकी मनोहराय जय मङ्गलम् साकेतनगरे श्रीमती मन्दिरे सकल सौभाग्य समृतान्तःपुरे सखी जननी करे सद्गुण निर्भरे सरस शृंगार संगीत मुकरे शेष्व सुखं प्रभो मन्दहासवदना मणिमय भूषणा महनीय मनोरम कल्याण गुणा मैथिली मोहना मंजूळ भाषणा मल्लिका मंदार मालिकाधरणा विश्वसुखं प्रभो राकेन्दुवदनया रसनीय वचनया रत्नमय दिव्य विविधभूषणया रम्य सद्गुणया राजेन्द्र तनयया रमस्वर गोवीरा प्रेम परिपूर्णया शेष्वसुखं प्रभो श्रीरामा सीतया साकं समवाप्तकामा शेष्वसुखं प्रभो नानाविधमणिरञ्जितमञ्जे परिमलकुसुम कल्पितकल्पे शेष्वसुखं मैथिलभूपतितनया मनोज्ञवेशया प्रियया शेष्वसुखं कारुण्यगर्भित प्रेम विलासा कौसल्या हृदय कमल निवासा शेष्वसुखं श्री रघुवीरा शेष्वसुखं மண்ணு புகழ் கோசலைதன் மணிவயிறு வாய்தவனே தென்னிலங்கை போன் முடிகள் சிந்து வைத்தாய் செம்பொன்சே கண்ணினன் மாமரல் புடை சூழ் கண்ணபுரத்தின் கருமணியே என்னுடைய இன்னமுதே ராகவனே தாலேலோ என்னுடைய இன்னமுதே ராகவனே தாலேலோ लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु यतः अभ्युदय निःश्रेयस सिद्धिः सधर्मः वेदा प्रमाणं धर्मस्य धर्मो रक्षति रक्षितः रामो विग्रहवान् धर्मः रामोपासनेन धर्मवृद्धिः रामा तवास्मि வாழ்க்கையே ராமனாகும் ராமனே வாழ்வுமாகும் ராமனே வாழ்வு தன்னில் வாழ்க்கையே ராமன் தன்னில் ராமனின் ராஜ்யம்தான் தேவ சாம்ராஜ்யம் கான்